Hello, everybody. Welcome to Eagle Chat. We're going to be talking about library services, and you're going to be amazed about what all they offer. And we have a wonderful librarian here with us who works with Northline and those campuses, and her name is Mildred Joseph. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. It's just wonderful to be able to come and talk to the students and about the wonderful services that we have through HCC Libraries. So we can just go ahead and dive right in. Of course, if you've got any questions, you can put that in the chat. Or, of course, you can speak up if you want to speak up. It looks like we've got a pretty small group so far, so that's fine as well if you've got any questions. So let me, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put my contact information in chat. I'm library director for HCC Northeast, so those would be 4 campuses: Northline, North Forest, Acres Homes, and the Northeast campus. But again, everything that I'm going to tell you is going to, apply more or less, system-wide. So, and then of course the emphasis is going to be on the online resources that we have available. But if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. That's my name and telephone number. And then also you've got my email address as well. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. You see our website?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see it. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just get started on the HCC homepage. You should be pretty familiar with that. There are a lot of different ways to get to the library's webpage. Normally, I recommend students can go right here to where it says My Eagle Student Sign In, and then you can click on the square that's labeled Library, and that'll take you to our library's webpage, which is library.hccs.edu. Also, if you're in Canvas, if you look in Canvas on the left side, there's a verb menu there. And if you click on Help, you'll see a link to the library's webpage from inside of Canvas, as well as other, helpful HCC resources through Help. Okay. And so I'm just waiting for the page to load up. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for the library's web page to load up, let me tell you about a program that HCC offers, which is called Reading Culture. And what happens with the Reading Culture program is that every semester we focus on a book that has to do with a different culture. So we've done this semester we're doing Zimbabwe, as you can see from the screen, and in the past we've done Brazil, India, just a lot of other countries are represented. And so we have 2 graphic novels that we're going to be focused on, that focus on the culture of Zimbabwe for this semester. And the really good thing about this, guys, is that if you decide to participate in the Reading Cultures program, you have an opportunity to win a scholarship. Let me just bring this up. Hold on just one second. And I apologize, I just made it just in time for this. Are you able to see the flyer?
No, we're still
Okay.
seeing My Eagle homepage.
Let me share this with you guys, Camilla. There is a $1,000 grand prize scholarship, and then there are 2 smaller scholarships prizes that are for $500 each. And so I'm going to put this information in the chat for you, because this is something that you guys may want to consider, and it's just a great opportunity to learn, but then also at the same time to earn some additional money for your studies. So there's the link to that in the chat. So let me go ahead and go back to the library's website, and I'll give you an overview of the website. Give me just a moment. Okay, are you guys able to see the library's website now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So since many of you are taking online classes, I just want to emphasize that the online help that we have, you can chat with us. So if you're online doing your research on the website, maybe you have a question, you can always engage with us through our chat service. What'll happen is a little window will pop up every 3 to 5 minutes or so asking you if you want to have a question, if you have any questions. And so, but if it doesn't, which it's not doing right now, so let me go ahead and bring this up. But what we can do is I'm going to go right up here to the top where it says Ask a Librarian. And I'm going to click on Ask a Librarian. Do any of you have any questions so far?
I have one while we're waiting.
Yes.
You mentioned I was very interested in the reading culture thing you mentioned. Is that basically just like a different word for like a book club, basically?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you could also go into the center of the page and click Ask a Librarian as well. And I don't know why the website is so slow today. Yeah, it's just a book club and we call it Reading Cultures.
Got it.
Exactly.
I just wanted to make sure because I was interested in a book club. So yeah, I am interested in that. So yeah. That's
Got it. Great question. It's a little bubble that says Ask Us. Okay. Let me try one more time. You've got my contact information. And so let's just talk about our online hours, where we are open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 9, and Fridays from 7:30 to 4, Saturday from 9 to 3, and then on Sunday we have chat available from 12 to 6 o'clock. And we do have, when you're during the business hours that we have listed here, it's going to be a live person when you come in and chat with us. But if it's after hours, let's say late 10 o'clock at night or after hours, then it is going to be our chat bot Nesty is going to be on duty to answer any questions that you guys might have. One thing I do want to emphasize is that, even though you're taking your classes online, our physical locations are open every day except for Sunday. We've got 16 locations throughout the district, so you're more than welcome. Sometimes studying at home, sometimes you need a change of setting. So you're definitely more than welcome to go in and, visit our library spaces and utilize those spaces in person. So, keep that in mind. But on our website, there's a little button that says locations and hours. And so you can go ahead and click there and see, all the different locations and the times that they're open. And so again, this is just a quick overview of what we have. We have the 9 full service libraries. These are traditional libraries. Then we have our digital access centers and our ERCs, which are electronic resource centers. And these tend to be a little bit smaller, these two. And a little bit more technology heavy. We also have, databases. So when you're online doing doing your research, what'll happen is that you'll be prompted to log in, and then you can search our databases, and it can be, again, we have, academic journals, we have eBooks, all sorts of electronic resources. There's even some streaming, streaming like videos and things of that nature that are in our collections as well. What's going to happen is Well, actually, it's not, because what's going to happen is that when you click, when you're off campus, a little window is going to pop up and ask you to log in. And so you'll just log in with your HCC credentials, and then you'll be able to access the resources. Now, we do have a program where we lend hotspots, laptops, and Chromebooks for students. You borrow it for the entire enrollment period. So for instance, if you're, enrolled in a 16-week class, you'd be able to keep it for the entire semester, basically from, let's say, June to May, January to May, excuse me. Now, right now, as our laptops and Chromebooks are a really hot commodity, so we are out of those right now, but we do have a few hot spots that are available. And this is the reading culture option that we had back in fall of 2025, which was Indigenous Canada. So, you have the new information in chat, but, again, they'll have a variety of different workshops, book discussion sessions. They will be online and in person. So, if you can't make it in, there are online options as well. And again, you have an opportunity to get some money for your schooling. So let's go to the website and let's just take a look and see if we can get things to work. And I'll just show you a few things on here. And so these are some of the things that we'll start. Okay, so let me go ahead and I will bring up the website and we'll go in here. And what majors do we have? Really quickly, if you want to pop that in the chat, what are people studying while they're here at HCC? Anybody want to share? Okay. And so again, we'll just make a quick journey. I'm just going to go to hccs.edu, my Eagle student sign in, look for the square that says library, which will take me to the library's webpage, library.hccs.edu. And so let's see, for our nursing major, let me show you right here. We do have, or for any of you who might be taking, needed to study for like your professional exams and things of that nature, on our website, if you click right here where it says careers, what we want you to do is I'd like you to check out our Mometrics e-library. And since I'm on campus, I'm not being prompted to log in, but if you were off campus, you'd be prompted to log in. And you can kind of see the different, categories that we have. And there are just a variety of tests that you can look in here. So for instance, you can click on nursing and see the types of tests here. We have business. I'll just go ahead and put in, like, for instance, SC as an example. And right here are some of the resources that we have, like exit exam practice tests, practice questions, the secrets guide for 2025, 2026. And so with the Mometrics library, and, we have things for like real estate and just, all sorts of things in here. But you can download this guide through the Memetrics database, as I was saying, one of those 276 databases that we have. And you've got like, some HESI materials and things like that. So I just want to point that out to you, that under that careers tab, we have some very useful resources. Another great resource that we have is Learning Express Library. I'm going to click on that. Now, with the Learning Express Library, to get the most out of it, you do need to go ahead and create an account. And what's really nice is that if you're going in here and you're taking any of the courses, or in here, you can you know, it'll track your progress. Okay. So if you know of anybody, you know, who's maybe, you know, wanting to earn a GED or something like that, you know, we do have the high school equivalency that has like sample tests for GED and other things in here. And also some exams as well. And there are a handful of courses in here, you know, for Spanish as well. But to get the most out of this, you'll need to set up a profile with that. If you know someone, you know, maybe you need some computer skills, helps with your computer skills, there's like courses in there as well. Okay. So those are kind of like under the careers tab. Those are the two resources that I would really encourage you to check out if you have some time. But especially the Mometrix e-library is a really great resource. And the Eagle Library Search is normally where students would go in and start their research project. And so what this does is it combines our most popular databases into one search. And what I'm going to do is I always use the example of social media and self-esteem. So we'll go in here and search. Maybe I'm in a psychology class and I'm, you know, writing on this topic. And so you can go in and notice how it kind of describes the type of resource it is. It says it's peer reviewed, it's a journal, academic, you know, and normally what we do is typically, you know, your professors are wanting you to use the research journals. And so those are the, you know, those are the results that tend to go to the top. But you can go in and add additional, you know, click on all filters and then, you know, search for, you know, maybe like a certain date range, or maybe you are looking for maybe like newspaper articles or something like that. You can kind of customize your search through the filters. Business, okay, but you're thinking, okay, you're going to change it, okay.
Ooh, health and medical science, nursing.
Okay, nursing, okay, great, great.
Because I do have resources that she can tell you about for the HESIs too. Associate's degree in
Right,
logistics.
right. Associate's degree in logistics. Okay, great, great, excellent. And let's see now, this is interesting. Social media and self-esteem effect on users. This was published back in 2023. It's 4 pages. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this might be a chapter in an ebook maybe or something. I'm going to just scroll and look at the next result. Here's one that says it's an ebook and body image. Self-esteem workbook for teens. Let's take a look at this. I'm wondering, we click on the full text finder, and I'm also going to go ahead and click on full text right here, add an additional filter. And, you know, for those of you who are researching from home, you know, always when you're in the databases, you know, always look for a filter that says full text, and that'll ensure that you're able to access the article, you know, in its entirety. Okay, so here's one, an article, let's see, that was published back in 2025. And notice it'll give me my access options, and it's available in PDF or online full text, or we can, you know, go directly into the database to access the article. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to actually go into the database just so you guys can see that, what that looks like. The really nice thing about the databases is that most of them are going to provide, so here's the article in its entirety. And then of course we can download a PDF version of that if we prefer, is that the databases will provide you with a citation. So let me click right up here in the upper right corner. And this looks a little bit different depending on what database you're using. This is ProQuest. I'll show you what another database looks like in a moment. But if you click on Cite, you know, here are the different citation styles. whether it's MLA or APA, that's what we tend to use most, here at HCC. And so you get to pick the appropriate citation style that you need. And, you can, of course, you want to double check this. Always you want to double check that. But you can copy and paste this into your works cited or your references page. Right. Yeah. So it really does help. Definitely. It definitely does help. Maybe we don't have access to that particular book. So for like something like this, if you were having an issue, at this point, it would be a great time to go ahead and utilize our chat. Let me go ahead and go back to our website and under Ask Us, and I'm actually going to go ahead and report this so it can be looked into. But you can click in here and then go ahead and put in your information, your contact information, copy and paste this. Another way to search through eBooks is not only through Eagle Library Search, but through our catalog. And so I'm going to go ahead and click here through the catalog, and I am going to actually do a title search for that book through our catalog and see what shows up. Wait. And so let me go ahead and go back in. Okay. And let's take a look. I want to see maybe if we can find some eBooks. I'm going to click on our eBooks. So notice I go to source type and it kind of breaks things down. Let me go ahead and click on apply, and I'll show you guys what an ebook looks like. Okay, so what I'm going to do, which is another way I'm going to show you guys how to search for ebooks. I'm going to, okay, and it's saying continue to item. I clicked on the link that said Springer Nature. Let me see if this ebook shows up. And at this point, I would probably maybe copy and paste that title. Hey, I was looking, trying to access this ebook, copy and paste it. I'm having an issue, and then we could kind of troubleshoot the issue with you. Okay. But let me go in and let's go ahead. And here we have Todd, and he works actually over at the Northeast Campus Library. What's really nice about this is that you can go in and when we give you like some information or anything like that, especially a lot of detailed information, you can always email yourself a copy of the transcript that took place, when we're helping you on chat. And then sometimes we can go ahead and switch to like a conference call or something like that if need be, where, for instance, like right now, you might, if I were a student and we switched to a conference call, you could say, hey, look, this is what's happening when I click on this resource, and this is the message that I'm getting, or something like that. So we could, kind of work with you to troubleshoot a particular issue. So I'm suspecting that maybe we don't own a copy of the Self-Esteem Workbook for Teens. I'm going to try to do just another search for this and see, and we'll just do a search for everything. I just wanted to see, and so that's interesting. Okay, so here it is showing up in here, but it's not showing that specific book. Okay. So what I'll do, let me show you. I'm going to show you another book that I normally use. It's called Dare to Lead. I'm going to do a title search for it. And here's an item right here. It's not showing the digital results like it should, because we actually have physical copies of this book. These are our physical copies in our system. But we also have a digital copy. So let me take a look. It says view results in digital content. Let me take a look. Okay, there's something going on here. It's not showing the digital copy. So Eagle Library search. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the homepage and I'm going to try it through the Eagle Library search, guys. Now I do have to tell you, back in November, we did switch to like a new system. And so we could be just experiencing some issues with this. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go back because I really did want to show you guys some of our Let me bring up just the general titles search again. And I really did want to show you guys some of the eBooks and what the eBooks look like. Okay, and so again, this should be a little bit more robust. This is an interesting book right here, and it's located at Spring Branch, but I wanted to see our eBooks, what we would have focusing on this. And this looks like it's just going to take us, I'm going to click right here to where it says digital content. And of course, it's going to bring a lot of, journal articles and things like that. But what would happen with our eBooks, kind of like just like what I showed you with the HCC guide earlier, is that you would be prompted to log in and you'd be able to access the eBooks. Okay. But maybe not today. Okay. One of the resources that I do like, and Miss Jana alluded to it earlier, is the Flipster resource that we have. For those of you who like to, read magazines, we have a bunch of different magazines that are here. Everything from, fashion to cooking, celebrity, culture, just all sorts of things. And so you can access that with us. We have, here I'm going to click on Atlantic Monthly. And again, if you're at home, you'll be prompted to log in. And then you can go in and read the magazine and look at it. What I really like about Flipster is that you can actually download the Flipster app to your mobile device. And you can download the magazines to read offline for a period of time. I think they give you like a download of like 2 weeks. So that's something that's really, really nice. And I would encourage you to check out Flipster. Is a really, really wonderful resource. We do have a variety of events that take place at the library. Some are in person, some are online. And you can go down here and look at the library, our library events. So you can kind of see where, different things are taking place. We also have our webinars that are really fantastic, especially for those who are like online only students. So you can sign up for the webinars and just learn about a variety of different topics, whether it's 3D printing or, APA citation style, plagiarism, just a lot of different things on organization. So I would really encourage you guys to, check out some of the library events and the webinars that we do have available. Some other tools that would be very useful for students. If you go right under here where it says research and writing, or at the top of our page, we do have our style guides. So again, where, let me go ahead and click, we connect to guides that are popular, on the internet, but we also have our own HCC style guide. Like here's our style guide for APA, and it was created by one of our librarians, Dana McCartney. And what's really nice is she goes through and explains how to cite specific types of resources. So this is something that's really great if you're writing your research paper or your essay, and you have your teacher needs you to use a specific citation style. This is a really great resource to have open, is one of our citation guides, to have. Again, another good resource that I would encourage you um, to utilize would also be our research guides, guys. So our research guides cover, the different uh, academic areas and workforce areas that we offer here at HCC. So for instance, if you're taking a history class, you could maybe take a look at the history guide that we have available, and it will recommend specific databases for you to use. You can, specific books, things like that. So the research guides can be, quite useful. I'll go ahead and click on accounting, and and again, it can link you to specific books and specific articles that are related to your topic. So those are some other things that we would have available. And let me take a look. Are there any, guys, are there any questions or comments that you have? Guys?
So these are some great, easy ways to get resources.
Yeah, and as I said, guys, there's and you can always reach out for help. Again, the wonderful thing about this, you've got my contact information. So you can reach out to me, individually if you'd like. You can go through our chat. You can always call, a library and ask to speak. Like, I'm going to go to location and hours. You can call one of the locations and get information. I'll use Eastside as an example, the information there and the staff and how to get in contact with people there. So don't be shy about reaching out to us if you need help. And I do let me goodness. I do apologize for all the technical difficulties that we had today. But I am going to go ahead and try to figure out what happened with our ebook. Let me go ahead and just show you. I'm going to go into databases. I'm going to show you guys one more thing that I think would be very helpful to you. Because, again, as I said, we have over 200 databases. What's really nice is that we do organize them according to subject. So you could go in and just say, okay, well, all right, I want to focus on nursing, or I want to focus on business or history. And so you could pick, the recommended databases for that particular, topic. So, what I'll go into, so you can go in and do your searches for that. So, again, I'll go ahead and just pick history as an example. And then it goes from, 200 something databases to, it narrows it down a little bit more to like your 50 databases. So, and I'm going to go into, let's go ahead and go into US history. And you can go in and notice it gives you a variety of different topics that you can click on, but then you can actually go in and we'll go ahead and put in George Washington as an example. And notice here, it kind of breaks down in this particular database. There's 100 academic journal articles. There's 59 primary sources, 17 videos. So you can go in and, and the databases kind of describe what's in the database. So that's something that's very useful. And again, notice we've got like a little short article right here. And when you're in these databases, make sure you're paying attention to what's on top of the page, what's on the side of the page, what's on the bottom of the page, because a lot of times that's where those features are, those useful features. So again, here's that site, here's the send to download print, the link. Look for those types of features in our databases. Some of them even have a feature where, you can click on it. It's made to be like an ADA accommodation, but it'll even read out the article to you, like in our EBSCO databases. So those are some of the features to look out for, when you're in our databases. And I hope, I hope that you got, something useful. I mean, were you, did you guys find any of the information helpful, or anything that you think that you might be using in the future? Or I see a nice little nod there. Okay, great, excellent. And Gloria, you're putting something. Okay, well, excellent, excellent. So guys, I hope you have a great semester. Sometimes being an online student, it can be kind of isolating in a way, because you're just logging in. But again, as I said, don't be shy about, reaching out to us if you have any questions. And once again, just thank you so much to Ms. Jana just for inviting us, the library, to come and speak to you guys.
Thank you, Mildred, for coming and speaking today and giving us this wonderful information. And thank y'all for attending and taking time out of your day to come and learn more about the library and all the different resources they have. And so thank y'all for coming, and I hope to see y'all tonight at bingo. And we'll get this uploaded along with all the other webinars for y'all in case you want to watch it again on our YouTube page. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful day.
And let's see, I see, Camille, you said you had a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, kind of random, but do you guys, does the library have like offer access to like news sources like Houston Chronicle?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Actually, we offer access through Newsbank. Hold on just one second. Let me bring up my screen and I will show you how to access Newsbank. Just a moment. Okay. And so what I would do is just click right here where it says databases. And what you want to do is just go into N for Newsbank.
Okay.
And click right here on Newsbank. Again, you'll be prompted to log in. And then right over here, we have our Houston Chronicle, historical and current. And then you can go in and click, and there are a couple of ways. There's a text version that, loads really, really quickly, or you can go in and look at the, the image version of it. So kind of like the image version of it, it looks kind of, like a giant PDF. So like if you wanted to read today's, just click on today's. And this is, kind of, what a physical newspaper would look like. So you've got that version where you can go through and kind of like scroll through the sections of the paper. You can go in and like clip little sections, or, to copy and download. You can do this, or you can do the text version, which is, loads a lot faster.
Cool.
And then, of course, we have, all the other newspapers that you can access through, through Newsbank as well. It's national and international newspapers that we have available. Great question. Anything else or any other follow-ups or?
A last thing, kind of quick. The Houston Public Library, if you check out a book, you can usually turn it in at any location. Does that apply at HCC?
Yes, it does. So
Got it. Okay.
you can, so yeah, so let's say you borrow a book at Central and you live close to North Line, you can have, you can return it to any location. And also too, in terms of our print, our print books, you can have them transferred from location to location. So like in that example, I'm just going to use Dare to Lead as an example. Okay. So notice right here, it has all these locations, Central, East Side, Southwest Houston Institute. Maybe you're not really close. Maybe you live like on the north side. You can, let me go ahead and click Retrieve Catalog Item. You can go in and place a hold on this, okay? And again, you'll be prompted to, put in your HCC credentials like I'm doing right now, okay? And then you can go in and place the hold, and then you can choose what library is closest to you, and then we'll call you and let you know that the item is ready to pick up. Typically, that takes 1 to 2 business days.
Awesome. Cool. So
Yeah.
very similar to Houston Public Library. Awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
in a book and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to that exact location. And I had an event at
No.
another one. So now I know next time I can do that.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
That's
You can
it.
turn it into HCC Library.
That's all the questions I had. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Anybody else? Great questions. All right. Well,
Thank you, everybody. You'll have a wonderful day, and we will see you at the next event. Bye, everyone.